What happens here happens in many towns. The mafia. They're like cancer. No cure.
It's Friday, and that means it's time now to talk movies. That was a clip from Equalizer 3 with Denzel Washington out this weekend. For more, let's bring in film critic Richard Crouse. Hi, Richard. It's great to see you again.
It's nice to see you. Thanks for having
So
me.
this film, there's a lot of buzz around it. I believe this is the final installment of the film, the third and the last. So talk to us about Equalizer. How is it?
Yeah, we've been watching Denzel Washington play Robert McCall, the Equalizer, for about 10 years now. This is the third and final film, as you say. And in this one, the great righter of wrongs, the former government assassin who now looks out for the rights of people that have been unjustly treated by neutralizing and, quote, equalizing situations, usually with a lot of violence, is living a quiet life in Italy. And he loves it. He loves the people. They love him until the mafia moves into this small town with the idea of getting rid of most everyone that lives there and turning it into a resort. And then Robert McCall feels he has to equalize the situation. And, you know, what you have here is a movie that wants to do a bit of a deep dive on someone who has spent their lives doing terrible things, but in the name of justice. So the question that's asked is he a good person, or is he a bad person, or is he a bad person or a good person that does bad things? What exactly is he? Well, they talk about it a bit, but they don't really get anywhere with that, because really this isn't a terribly deep movie. This is essentially Death Wish with much nicer locations, and that's about it. It's a revenge movie that is elevated by the presence of Denzel Washington. Most of the other characters are complete black and white. You've either got really good people or really evil people, and somewhere in that murky middle is Robert McCall, played with a great deal of charisma by Denzel, who really knows how to bring an underwritten character to life on the screen here. So I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I will tell you, it's the most violent one in the series, so be aware of that when you go see it. But there's something kind of cathartic about seeing Robert McCall right wrongs, no matter how violent he does it.
Okay, interesting. And I also like the way you say that Death Wish in very scenic or interesting locations. I think that's what you said.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's going to be interesting to watch for sure. Okay, the next film we are talking about, I think the name is pretty self-explanatory. I don't have to say anything. The name's Bottoms. So what,
Well,
what do you have to say about it?
Well, Bottoms is about two young people, young women who are in high school, and they feel they're at the bottom of the social ladder. And they say, we're the bottoms here. There's nowhere to go for us but up. And they have crushes on some of the cheerleaders at school. So they want to try and find a way to catch the attention of the cheerleaders. So they decide to create an all-female self-defense club at school, thinking that all these young women will join, and then they'll be able to sort of cozy up to their crushes. Trouble is, with an outrageous plan like that, you have outrageous and unexpected repercussions from it. So what I liked about this movie is that it's pretty heightened. It's kind of like the movie Heathers, if you remember that from a long time ago, Winona Ryder, probably 30 years ago, in that it paints this slightly different picture of high school than we're used to seeing. But most importantly about this film is that it is heightened, it's over the top, it's wild,
Yeah.
but it's really about the things that everyone in high school wants. They want to be part of the crowd. They want to have a significant other, someone special to spend time with. They just want what we all want. So it kind of brings it down to a nice level and has kind of a bit of humanity to it that you might not expect from a wild comedy like this. It's called Bottoms. I gave
Yeah.
it 3.5 out of 5 stars, and it's in theaters now.
So Richard, I saw the trailer of this film because I was pretty intrigued by the title. It's pretty bloody for a high school
It is.
film.
Well, they start a fight club, and they do not mess around. They are walloping one another, but it's all in the name of creating a safe space for the young women that join the club. You kind of have to see it to understand it, but yeah,
Okay.
that's what happens.
All right. The next one is very funny and heartwarming as well. This is an Adam Sandler film. You are not invited to my bat mitzvah. This one is
Yeah.
out on Netflix, though. Tell us about it.
It is. You can watch this one tonight on Netflix. And this is a really good natured, sweet movie that's being called a Sandler family affair because not only does Adam Sandler act as producer and appear in the film, but also his wife is in the film and two of his daughters are here as well. One of them is Sunny Sandler, and she's the lead in the film. She and her best friend in the movie have been best friends forever, and they have been planning their bat mitzvahs their entire lives. They want to really rock the social scene. They want to make their entrance into their bat mitzvahs as flashy and interesting as possible. Trouble is, there's a young boy at school who kind of gets in the middle of them. And it's a story about the tenuous nature of friendships. It's about the anarchy of adolescence. It is about this long-term friendship that is kind of split apart at one of the most important times of their lives. It's sweet, it's sassy, it's funny, and Sunny Sandler, who is the lead here, isn't what they call the Nepo baby, I don't think, a nepotism hire. She's actually really good in this. This is a breakthrough performance from her. So I gave You Are So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah 4 out of 5 stars, and it's on Netflix right now.
Look who's being generous today. I like that.
I know. Throwing those stars around.
Yeah, and lastly, I can't believe it. We have another film like about zombies. Is this actually like a zombie town film? How is it?
It is a zombie film, but it's a zombie film for younger people. So It's a little different than Night of the Living Dead or one of those. It's based on an R.L. Stine novel. He is probably best known for his Goosebumps series of novels, which have, scares for young adults in them. In this one, you've got a town that is turned into zombies by the magic of a motion picture, and two young people have to figure out how to rescue the town and rescue the people in it. And what I wanted from this movie was just a few more scares. It's aimed at young people, but I think that there could have been a bit more tension, a bit more fear in here, and it might have raised the stakes. As it is, this one doesn't really bring the undead to life. So I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars, but it's in theaters right now, and it's got a fun cameo from Chevy Chase and another sort of medium supporting role from Dan Aykroyd. It's always worth a look.
Okay, lots to choose from where this weekend is concerned. We always appreciate you joining us, Richard. Thank you for your time and have a great long weekend.
You too. Talk to you soon.